I'm back, bald as ever. It's been a good year and a half at least since I've done much work on this thing. Not sure really where I left off, other than I was working on the nose, which I'm feeling pretty good about. It's not perfect, but that ain't the goal with this thing. What I'm hoping for is to get the rust addressed and start putting this thing together. I got to get the engine and transmission in, not operating, just in, so I can tow it to the DMV and get them to issue me a new pink slip for, registration with a new VIN number, because this thing has not been in the system for 20 some odd years because it was neglected and all that. So what have I been doing since then? A lot of family stuff. Did a house renovation last summer, so that ate into my normal summertime as a professor. I've also been working on this guy. I gave it a full new sand down of the clear coat. Just didn't like how it was looking, and now I got to wax it. But it's coming a lot nicer. I sanded it out to about 5,000, and I'm really more happy with it than I've been in a long time, so that's great. I've also addressed some steering issues due to the narrow beam, and I also worked on getting the carburetor figured out, things like that. The other thing, and this was sort of the big ticket thing that I just finished last month, I didn't film it because there's not much to film because it's boring. I replaced the entire front wiring harness. Got a good unit I got the full complete unit from Wolfsburg West, which is like 20 minutes from here. I am that lucky. And or unlucky, because it costs me money because I can go there whenever I want to. The guy, I kept showing up almost every day. He goes, if you come here 5 days a week, you get a paycheck. So that was that. But I basically was ultimately unsatisfied with the DIY wiring that I did. So I wanted something a little bit more official, a little bit more traceable if there are issues, things like that. I finally got the horn working, so I'm really feeling much better about the wiring. So where am I going? Right here. This is the stuff that is on my list. That's what I want to address. I am going to be doing bronze silicon welding for sheet metal, which is considerably better than MIG. MIG flux core, or even MIG with gas, just comes in a little bit hot, particularly for this thin of metal. So I've got my setup here and I am ready to go. Let me show you what I'm doing. So to address this, you're looking at my entire metal shop. It's just this one corner of the garage. So I've got my vise, I've got a shear, I've got my railroad track anvil, got some tools, some shears back there, my clamps, some basic stuff. Finally plumbed in some air on this side so that when I weld I can cool it off. Got my standard baby welder, new helmet, ready to go. What am I going to be welding? Well, I got these pieces that I'm going to cut to shape after I start excising pieces from here. And I plan on using this guy to put a little flange in it, because then through that effort I can tuck this thing underneath and have just a little bit more structural adhesion. Because the one thing that you don't get with bronze silicon welding is actual melting of this to that. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know if it's going to come out great or not, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to practice a bit. I won't be filming that because who wants to watch me practice weld badly? And then once I'm ready to start putting pieces in, I'll be showing you guys what I'm cutting out, how I'm shaping it, what I'm putting in, and how that goes. It may take me a little while to figure it out, but I'm excited to be able to get back at this thing. It's been way too long. I want to drive this thing so bad, and right now it's just in a whole bunch of pieces in the garage. But I got my shop here all figured out. I've got my parts, doors, these tubs are filled. Just with the idea that if I'm organized, which I can do in small little batches here and there, if I'm organized when I do want to come out here and work, I can get at it. So let's see how it goes. Not sure if the welding is going to be in this episode or if this is just going to be my, hey, I'm back and alive. But then if not, next episode is going to be all the welding stuff. So this is my all kinds of ugly. I had some decent runs in there. That one's not bad. Kind of bubbled through the bottom. but also I had some burn through on that piece when I was doing it before. And so I just basically kept trimming chunks off, and then I would try it again and try it again, and eventually I started to get a little bit closer. Sometimes it didn't stick at all and the weld just snapped off. Most of these were actually fairly strong. You know, that one just looks like it's being overrun by worms or maggots or something. But I can't break it, so, you know, not nothing. I'll show you one of my better pieces, and it'll kind of give you a hint of the technique. So first thing is, I didn't run a constant bead. I did a 1/2 inch, skipped over a 1/2 inch, did a 1/2 inch, and that got me slightly better results. It did go through. It is quite solid. I cannot bend it. I mean, that I'm putting everything into it, and it's not flexing. So I'm feeling really good about the penetration and the over-under. You know, it'd be nice to have a little bit more. I also figured out that, you know, a couple of these, you can see I had pretty large gaps of, you know, 1/16 of an inch for some of these, and that just wasn't working. So eventually this one, it was probably 1/2 mil, maybe a mil, 32nd of an inch at most, somewhere in that neighborhood, and it felt pretty good. So, you know, a lot of ugly, a whole lot of recycling going to happen, but I'm getting there. So what next is pretty simple. I'm going to cut holes in the lower windowsill of the front bay of my beautiful bus, my beautiful ugly bus, and cut some scrap pieces to go in there. I'm going to put them in with, hold them in with magnets, and I'm going to start just sort of stitch welding them in 1/2 inch at a time, hop around a little bit, not feel the need to do anything all at once. And I think the end result is going to be something that I can live with. It's going to be strong enough. I really feel the rigidity of these is better than I was expecting, honestly. So I'll take it. So that's enough for now. I am back on the bus. I don't know how quick these things are going to be coming out. Life gets in the way. I'm teaching summer school, and it's pretty quick and pretty demanding. So it takes a lot of my time. And then we're going to Vegas. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you have a comment, even if it's you suck at welding, go ahead and let me know. I will respond probably with something like, I already knew that. I am not good at this stuff, but I learn and I enjoy the learning, and I make do, and ultimately I get to where I need to go, which is good enough land. All right, talk to you guys later.